Are you having fun? Are you enjoying the process? And whatever it is you're pursuing, have you planned or factored in the fun aspect of it? In a past video, a few videos back, I think actually, I talked about a motorcycle trip that a few friends and I went on. It was over 4,500 miles. We covered a lot of ground in 10 days. It was well thought out, well planned, from our destination every evening to what rain gear we were going to wear and helmets and all of those things, even the various destinations along the way of that trip. Now, a friend of mine had planned this. He was familiar with California. His wife helped plan all the different hotels and places we would stay along the way and the distances we would travel every single day. But one thing we did not plan, or maybe we collectively, the three of us, didn't plan together, which we should have, was there really along for the ride, to be honest with you, but really enjoy it. One of the most amazing trips that I've been on. But one of the challenges was we were riding 300 miles a day. Now, maybe if you're on a more comfortable touring bike, that works. But on the bike that I was on a sport bike, that is not enjoyable, especially for 10 consecutive days. The first day, we left early, about 5 a.m, and by noon we were at our destination. We were just outside of Death Valley. We stopped, we're hanging out by the pool, I'm reading a book or whatever, and I thought, man, this is gonna be an amazing trip. But that was not the reality of the rest of the trip. That was just the first day, the way that was scheduled and it worked out. Every other day, we were basically riding from 8 a.m. to like 5 p.m. It became a job. It became, we needed to get from point A to point B because we had that booked and scheduled and the hotel paid for, whatever it was, our deposit. And there was no deviation. There was no flexibility in that plan. And we were just ripping through the miles. Now, me on a sport bike, this was a 1993 Honda CBR 600 F2. Just think of a fast, uncomfortable, fun motorcycle, right? But for this trip, it was grueling. It was really, really rough. Now, imagine if you do that on a more consistent basis, your body's conditioned to do that. But the other two riders had rented touring BMWs. They had all the lockable fixed luggage on it. It sat more upright, heated grips. They were super comfortable, probably had cruise control, all this stuff. This was back in like 2006, 2007. Fuel gauge, I didn't even have a fuel gauge on my bike. But my friend who had planned it, he's very extreme. He likes to jump out of helicopters. He's got a cool picture of him jumping out of a helicopter, and the person that jumped before him, taking the photo up, looking at him, shows him like this, and it perfectly aligned with the angle of the blades above him, like well, above him, of course, but it shows him and then in between the blades. So he was extreme. He is all out. He does extreme, crazy things. Me and his other friend, not so much. We were there for the leisurely ride, and this was pretty grueling, to be truthful. We were exhausted at the end of the day. I was so hungry and so thirsty. It was like I ran a marathon. There's just a lot of thinking and mental process and all of that. Now, somewhere in that trip, we were in Santa Barbara, these really cool open yellow like fields, and I remember one part we're going and it was like some water was passing through. We rode the bikes through. There was a big snake in there, just a really cool area. And we're flying through there. And it wasn't until maybe an hour later, my friend that helped organize it, he's like, hey, did you see Michael Jackson's ranch? I'm like, no, where was that? Oh yeah, when we were going through that, we saw the snake and we go through the whole thing. It was that big gated entry. Now, all of you've seen this, most likely on TV, the entry to the Neverland or whatever. And yeah, you can't remember that. There was a car there and somebody there. And I'm like, that was that? Like, I grew up in the Midwest. Michael Jackson's from Gary, Indiana. I lived there for a brief time. But somebody that big in our culture, and it would have been cool to stop and take a picture or look through the gate or something. Well, yeah, our view of that gate was probably 80, 90 miles an hour passing it. And I was just like, I don't believe that. There were so many things that I think we could have stopped and smelled the roses, so to speak, and enjoyed on that. That would be one that really, at the time, really, just like I couldn't believe I was there, but I wasn't there. Didn't take in that moment. Now, I remember there were some cool pictures we had, maybe in the future I'll share, of some scenic views of us and the bikes over the ocean, Pacific Coast Highway and stuff. But something like that we didn't even see. It became just trying to survive each day, knowing there's like 7 days more, 5 days more of this basically 8-hour work day. And what happened, which puts things in perspective, is somewhere along, I don't know, maybe the third day, me and the other person were like, dude, this is killing us. Even the other guy on a more comfortable, they had the same bike, the BMWs. We were about to mutiny and just bail on this whole thing because we were just dying. We just wanted to sit back and relax a little bit, ride a good distance, and then have some time to relax versus just drink a lot of water and be in pure exhaustion mode and just starving. And it turned out our friend that planned, he's also very frugal. Those bikes were rented with an allocation of 300 miles per day. So one way or another, he was getting 300 miles to get his value out of this investment. And that's why that trip was 300 miles every single day for 10 days. It's been a long time, but I think I was furious. But then, that goes into the shame on me not being more into this planning. I'd do the trip again. I loved it. It was a great experience. And I was just like, man, what if we would have all met, discussed the viability of 300 miles per day, all these different things. Granted, it was new to all of us, but still maybe planned in, hey, is there something you want to see? Or, hey, this certain point, or, hey, in this next stretch, we're going to pass Neverland. You guys want to stop or what? Have some more communication about it. So are you, enjoying the process? Have you planned for having fun in the experience? Because that's a big piece of it. And we were already committed into the whole thing and just it became an endurance feat. A lot of fun, but became more of an endurance run. Now, for my friend that's extreme, that was the best thing. He didn't need to stop and see some Neverland ranch or whatever, or these different site touring things. He was for the pure, let me see how fast I can ride, 300 miles. It probably would have ridden more if that allocation was more on the miles. I don't know. But it was a fun trip. Really enjoyed it. And just, to put it in perspective, the bike that was doing these 300 plus miles over maybe 4,700 miles was that bike there, which I still do have. And I had this thing loaded up like the Beverly Hillbillies. These guys had nice BMWs. They're both millionaires. They rented their bikes. I took my bike, but had it in great working condition and had gym bags, just like with padlocks, saddled over the back of the bike. And it was insane, but it was a lot of fun nonetheless. But yeah, make sure you're enjoying it. You're having fun. Have the communication on that so there's no surprises. But when you plan something out, make sure, are you taking into account the fun factor in all of this, and enjoy the process. Thanks again. Have an amazing day, and hope you enjoyed the story. Talk with you soon. Take care. Thanks. Bye.